Hello guys, today I'll be doing the character Oswald from the play King Lear by William Shakespeare. I'm aware that he's a very minor character, yet he's very important though. Remember, all the characters are equally as important. I mean, of course, you can always expect a question on Lear and Cordelia and Goneril, Regan, Edmund, rather than Oswald, for instance, or a certain knight, but you should always know what these characters are about, why they're there, because if they weren't important, Shakespeare wouldn't have incorporated them into the play itself. So Oswald appears in Act 1, Scene 3. Goneril is highly indignant that her father struck Oswald, her steward, for chiding of his fool. She tells Oswald that when Lear returns from hunting, she will not see him, and Oswald is to say she is unwell. Goneril also instructs Oswald to tell his fellow servants to treat Lear with less attentiveness and care than he is used to, and Oswald agrees to do as Goneril, his master, says. Now, although Oswald says little in this scene, he serves as an important plot device as he allows us an insight into Goneril's state of mind and her plans for her father. Oswald's position in Goneril's household is a little unclear though, so he's merely a steward, yet she trusts him with her plans even though they are despicable. Some directors suggest that Goneril has been intimate with Oswald, which is why she treats him more like a confidant than as a servant. So Oswald's loyalty to Goneril is not conditional on any sort of moral code. If we contrast this with Kent, for example, who spoke up when he believed his king was acting wrongly, we see that there is nothing admirable or honorable about Oswald's loyalty, which makes him also a villain. Now in Act 1, Scene 4, Lear asks Oswald where Goneril is, and Oswald walks off, indicating that he is too busy to deal with Lear's request. Lear sends a knight to fetch Oswald back, but the knight returns alone. He tells Lear that Oswald answered me in the roundest manner he would not. Lear is shocked at Oswald's behavior, and the knight says Oswald is merely reflecting the great abatement of kindness in Goneril's household of late. Now Oswald, he re-enters, and when Lear asks him if he knows who he is, Oswald replies insolently, "My lady's father." Lear is incensed and curses Oswald, now who stands up for himself, saying he is none of the names Lear has called him. He tells Lear that he will not be stricken, but Kent trips him up and pushes him out of the room for his rudeness to the king. Now, in terms of this, in Act 1, Scene 4, Oswald's treatment of Lear is the king's first indication that his daughter has turned against him and that he no longer commands the respect he did when he ruled the country. Oswald's dismissive and disrespectful treatment of Lear allows Kent to show his loyalty to his master, and Lear is pleased and takes the disguised Kent into his service. Now in Act 2, Scene 2, Oswald arrives at Gloucester's castle and meets the disguised Kent, who he does not remember from their encounter in Act 1, Scene 4. Kent, however, recognizes Oswald immediately and insults him, calling him a super serviceable finical rogue, now meaning a fussy, overly eager to please scoundrel. Kent says Oswald is the sort of man who has brought a knighthood but considers himself a nobleman as a result. Now Kent challenges Oswald to a duel, but Oswald now here calls for help, showing how cowardice he is. Now when Gloucester, Cornwall and Regan arrive in response to Oswald's cries, he claims that he spared Kent a suit of his grey beard. From this point on, Oswald allows Cornwall and Regan to take up his cause, which results in Kent being placed in the stocks. Now, Kent insults show Oswald to be a man who values show over substance. The exchange between Oswald and Kent provides some much needed comic relief. The conflict between Oswald and Kent reflects the conflict between those that they serve, which is very important. And in Act 3, Scene 7, Oswald tells Cornwall, Regan, Goneril and Edmund that Gloucester has sent Lear to Dover to meet with his supporters. Analysis of this scene: while Oswald might not be seen to play any significant role in this scene, he remains a symbol of misguided loyalty. He betrays Gloucester to Cornwall, Regan and Edmund, thus sealing the old man's fate. And in Act 4, Scene 2, Oswald meets Goneril as she approaches her castle. He warns her that Albany has changed and now sympathizes with Lear and Cordelia's supporters. And Oswald now informs the audience of the change in Albany. And Albany may have been weak and dominated by his immoral and unscrupulous wife until now, but in this scene we learn that he has openly defied Goneril. Now, what happens next is that in Act 4, Scene 5, at Gloucester's castle, Regan questions Oswald about Albany's plans for the coming battle, and Oswald tells her that Albany has led his troops towards Dover, but that he has made a great deal of fuss about it, and Oswald believes Goneril is the better soldier. Regan quizzes Oswald about the relationship between Goneril and Edmund, and tries to persuade him to show her Goneril's letter to Edmund, but Oswald refuses to do so, which shows loyalty. And Oswald quickly and readily accepts Regan's suggestion that he should murder Gloucester if he encounters him on his travels, and he says, "Would I could meet him, madam, I should show what party I do follow." And Oswald here shows that he has no moral compass. He is unsympathetic to Albany's support of Lear and Cordelia, and he maintains a certain misguided loyalty to his unscrupulous mistress. His loyalty is not absolute, however, and when Regan offers him the chance of a reward for killing that blind traitor Gloucester, Oswald immediately agrees to do so, just like she asks. And the final scene of his appearance in Act 4, Scene 6, Oswald comes upon Edgar and Gloucester in fields near Dover. He is delighted to see a proclaimed prize and takes out his sword to kill the old man. Edgar steps forward to defend his father, and Oswald is outraged to see what he believes is bold peasant daring to support a published traitor. He fights Edgar and is killed. As he lies dying, Oswald asks Edgar to deliver Goneril's letter to Edmund. Edgar calls Oswald a serviceable villain, as duteous to the vices of thy mistress as badness would desire. He takes Goneril's letter and reads it, discovering her plan to kill Albany and marry Edmund. And in terms of this, Oswald shows his utter lack of humanity in his willingness to murder what he believes to be a defenseless old man. Although Oswald is loyal to Goneril, it is impossible to admire him for his quality. If we compare him to Kent, for example, who stood up to Lear when he believed he was doing wrong, then we see that Oswald's loyalty is misguided at best and a sign of his corrupt and despicable nature at worst. Oswald plays an important role in furthering the plot. Edgar reads Goneril's letter, and we learn of the full depth of Goneril's depravity as she openly asks Edmund to murder Albany and marry her. And Edgar's description of Oswald is the perfect epitaph and succinctly captures the essence of this despicable man. This is the end of Oswald and everything that comes in relevance to him. Guys, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me or drop them down in the comments. See you next time.